Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I thought I'd do another one of these cozy vlog style videos. I know that the last one didn't necessarily get a lot of views or anything. Not that that really matters for me because my channel doesn't really get that many views to begin with. But I don't know, I find these relaxing. I think it's nice. And at the very least, it gets me talking about what's on my mind. Sometimes that's a bad thing for some people in this world. But for me, I think talking through, especially talking through some of my feelings, it's not necessarily the worst idea possible. Anyways, it's finally July here in the city. I say finally as if I was anticipating or wanting July to come really quickly. And I don't know, I haven't. Time honestly moves way too quickly. It moves at some insane roller coaster speed, and I can barely keep up half the time. But yeah, it's hot here. I'm constantly sweating every single time I go outside. This is honestly my least favorite season living in the city. In the winter, at the very least, I can be cold. I like the cold. I like it a lot better. And then spring and fall are, I don't know. But they're a lot better temperature-wise, let's just say. The summer is the brutal one for me, and it doesn't help that I was also born in the summer. Technically, in the spring, since it's before the summer solstice. Yes, that's the one. But yeah, no, I've always liked the winter a lot more, or at least just colder seasons in general. Coming back from outside, having to peel off your clothes, absolutely not for me, not at all. Anyways, one of the biggest things that I guess is on my mind right now is the fact that I feel like I need to be a lot more confident, and this is something that has been a pervasive factor throughout my entire life. I honestly can't remember a time where I have been really confident, except maybe when I was 5 and didn't know any better. You know what? I should know better to be more confident now. But I don't know. I've always been a shy kid. I'm not sure why exactly that's always been. My parents always said that, oh yeah, it's just a family thing. We're a very shy and introverted family. But the more that I think about it, the more that I think about my childhood, I can't help but think maybe they played some role in making that a factor. I'm not gonna unpack that in this video right now, but suffice it to say, I feel other things have not only always overshadowed me in that sense, but also, I guess, made me feel bad about speaking up for myself, about saying how I feel. I've always been very risk averse in terms of not embarrassing myself that much, or even not presenting the opportunity for myself to be embarrassed. So I just become this incredibly introverted, non-talkative person. But yeah, I've been doom scrolling a lot, as I think a lot of people have been. I need to work on that. I need to not doom scroll as much. But I've been seeing a lot of TikToks and or Reels or whatever, you insert your preferred short video platform here. But I've been seeing a lot of other trans women and just queer people in general being very unapologetically confident in themselves, in how they present and everything. And as much as I've done to kind of break down the boundaries I had for myself beforehand, I don't think I'm fully there yet. I still have a lot of work to do on myself, as do I think a lot of people. I can remember a time, honestly, all up until I was maybe 20, at which point I was probably roughly a year into my transition, and everything before then I was just so shy. I was barely a person, afraid to express literally any part of myself that wasn't just absolutely nerdy, because for some reason that felt the only thing that I could be. I'm not wrong in saying that. I am still very much a nerd, but I felt like I wasn't a person in that way. I didn't have the chance to be open and have a well-rounded personality. I was not very well-rounded. I did not have a personality before then, you could say. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. I've been seeing a lot of other people just being confidently themselves and like just being really hot. And I know half of like being hot is just being really confident in yourself. And I don't think I'm necessarily that hot and or confident right now, but that is something that I would like to at least get better at. It's something that I think really needs a lot of work. If I want to be a better, more well-rounded, more confident person. And again, I do think I've made a lot of strides in like making that a whole lot better, but I still have a lot of work to do. I don't necessarily know how to make that happen or how to go about that, but I mean, I think I've done pretty well so far. Could I have done a better job? I don't know. Probably. Yeah, anyways, it's just something that I really want to work on. If you have any tips or tricks, I don't know, feel free to leave them in the comments. The other thing that really strikes me about seeing other people confident, like happy in the world is that, like I talked in the last video, it's been very difficult to find that joy, to find that happiness a lot of the time. The impending dread of the world definitely comes in waves for me. Sometimes it's just really overwhelming, like when the recent big bill passed the House, I think on Thursday, yeah. That was not a good day. Almost doomsday-like experience to see so many national leaders like vote to strip people of healthcare and just like actively vote for a worse world. And I'm not sure if they have the self-awareness to know. I mean, they have to, come on. But yeah, it's hard to see things like that happen. So that was definitely a low day. But then oh no, I have like a bunch of plant lights on timers around the living room here, and one of them just went off. I'm not going to turn it back on, nor am I going to re-record this. It's fine. I'll deal with it. But yeah, that was definitely a very low point. And then sometimes I'm feeling okay. Like today, I think I'm doing a lot better. I'm feeling maybe not joyful necessarily. I think happy might even be a little bit of a stretch, but content is definitely okay. It's what we should strive for anyways. But those waves of highs and lows, that's such a cliche way of saying it, but it is true. I don't know if that pattern will ever really end. Part of me likes to think that, oh, that'll definitely end in 4 years when this administration like finally leaves office and, you know, leaves trans people alone. Hopefully. Oh my God, I'm gonna jinx this, am I? Knock on wood. Yeah, I like to think that things will be a lot better in 4 years and like everything will just dramatically change. And in some ways that's technically true, but in a lot of very tangible ways, that's not how the world works. The world doesn't necessarily immediately change based on who is in power in government, sometimes to our dismay. Just unfortunately, in a lot of ways, the world will remain unfortunately hostile towards trans women, towards, I don't know, people like me in general. So in some ways, I'm just gonna have to figure out how to be okay when things in the world are not. It definitely shouldn't be like this, the hate and vitriol that gets spewed and like trying to say, okay, well, we have to be okay through all of that. And no one should have to go through it. I don't know if it'll ever be like actively inviting, welcoming on the whole for trans people, queer people, people of color. But I can only hope that one day that happens. And I don't know, we'll do what we can to make sure that that happens. Anyways, I've yapped for long enough. Thank you all for watching this video. I really appreciate it. It warms my heart to think that, I don't know, maybe I'm not fully alone in all of this. I know I'm not fully alone, but it's nice to, I was gonna say talk things through, but videos are very one way by nature. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.